Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 6, canto 6, chapter 13. We are beginning a new chapter. The previous chapter was Vritrasura's glorious death, and in this chapter, King Indra, afflicted by sinful reaction. There's a summary that Prabhupada has written, so we'll read the summary followed by the shlokas. This chapter describes Indra's fear at having killed a Brahmana, Vritrasura, and it also describes how he fled and was saved by the grace of Lord Vishnu. When all the demigods requested Indra to kill Vritrasura, he refused because Vritrasura was a Brahmana. The demigods, however, encouraged Indra not to fear killing him because Indra was protected by the Narayana Kavacha, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Lord Narayana. Even by the glimpse of chanting of Narayana's name, one becomes free from all the sinful reactions of killing a woman, a cow, or a Brahmana. The demigods advised Indra to perform an Ashwamedha sacrifice by which Narayana would be pleased, for the performer of such a sacrifice is not implicated in sinful reactions, even if he kills the entire universe. Following this instruction from the demigods, King Indra fought Vritrasura. But when Vritrasura was killed, everyone was satisfied but King Indra, who knew Vritrasura's position. This is the nature of a great personality. Even if a great personality acquires some opulence, he is always ashamed and regretful if he acquires it illegally. Indra could understand that he was certainly entangled by sinful reactions for killing a Brahmana. Indeed, he could see sinful reactions personified following him, and thus he fled here and there in fear, thinking how to rid himself of his sins. He went to Manasarovara, and there, under the protection of the goddess of fortune, he meditated for 1,000 years. During this time, Nahusa reigned over the heavenly planets as the During this time, Nahusa reigned over the heavenly planets as a representative of Indra. Unfortunately, however, he was attracted by the beauty of Indra's wife, Sachi Devi, and because of his sinful desire, he had to accept the body of a serpent in his next life. Indra later performed a great sacrifice with the help of exalted Brahmanas and saints. In this way, he was released from the reactions of his sinful killing of a Brahmana. Verse 1, we will chant verse number 2. One has no purport. Verse 1, Shri Shuka Uvacha, Vrite Hate Trayo Loka, Vina Shakrena Bhurida, Sapala Hi Abhavan Sadyo, Vijwara Nirvritendriyaha. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, who are so charitably disposed, when Vritrasura was killed, all the presiding deities and everyone else in the three planetary system was immediately pleased and free from trouble. Everyone, that is, except Indra. Verse number 2, we will chant and repeat. Devarshi Pitri Bhutani Daitya Devanuga Swayam Pratijagmuhu Swadhishnyani Brahmeshendradayastataha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Thereafter, the demigods, the great saintly persons, the inhabitants of Pitriloka and Bhutaloka, the demons, the followers of the demigods, and also Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the demigods subordinate to Indra, all returned to their respective homes. While departing, however, no one spoke to Indra. In this connection, purport by Srila Prabhupada. In this connection, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur comments, Brahmeshendradaya iti indrasya swadhishnya gamanam nopapadyate vritavadha shana eva brahma hatyopadadrava praptehe tasmat tata iti anena manasa sarovarad agatya pravartitad ashwamedhat parata iti vyakhyeyam. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and other demigods returned to their respective abodes, but Indra did not, for he was disturbed at having killing Vritrasura, who was actually a Brahmana. After killing Vritrasura, Indra went to the Manasa Sarovara lake to become free from sinful reactions. When he left the lake, he performed an Ashwamedha Yagna and then returned to his own abode. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. So we are beginning a new chapter, Indra afflicted by sinful reactions. And in the previous chapter, we saw Vritrasura's glorious death. And this chapter is titled King Indra Afflicted by Sinful Reactions. And why did King Indra get afflicted by sinful reaction? There are two reasons. Two of his actions. One is, which will come in the second part of towards the end of this chapter, but the first part that we are discussing right now is because of him having killed Vritrasura, a Brahmana. So here, Prabhupada begins this chapter summary by stating, when all the demigods requested Indra to kill Vritrasura, he refused because Vritrasura was a Brahmana. The demigods, however, encouraged Indra not to fear killing him because Indra was protected by the Narayana Kavacha, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Lord Narayana. Even a glimpse of the chanting of the Narayana's name, even by a glimpse of the chanting of Narayana's name, one becomes free from all the sinful reactions of killing a woman, a cow, or a Brahmana. So the first point here, how Vritrasura was a Brahmana, he was a demon. So we read in the previous chapters, and Prabhupada explains this later also, that when Vritrasura and Indra were on the battlefield and they were having exchange of words, at that time, the kind of philosophy or the kind of consciousness that Vritrasura possessed, which Indra could make out by the way he spoke, Indra could understand that Vritrasura is no ordinary person. He's a great devotee. And so Prabhupada also points out a little later, because he was a great devotee, a pure Vaishnava, so automatically he was a Brahmana. So Indra was fearing killing, because killing a Brahma Hatya, Go Hatya, these are all very great sinful actions for which we're going to suffer greatly. Anyone who does these kind of killing a Brahmana, killing, cows and like this, so it's a very sinful act. So Vritrasura, so Indra was not sure whether to kill him because, he's speaking such high philosophy. In the battlefield, when he's about to die, he's fearless and still he's doing his duty of fighting. So he's not an ordinary person. So Indra was hesitant in killing because he's such a great devotee. How can I kill a devotee, a Brahmana? But when all the demigods requested Indra to kill Vritrasura, he refused because he was a Brahmana. The demigods, however, encouraged Indra not to fear killing him because he came in the garb of a demon and he had taken away all the kingdom of the Devatas, and so they didn't have any place to stay. So this fight was inevitable. We read this in the previous chapter. So they said, do not worry to kill Indra. They told Indra, do not fear or worry to kill Vritrasura because Indra was protected by the Narayana Kavacha, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself, Lord Narayana. So this is the reason they give. Narayana Kavacha, we saw in the previous chapters. What was the Narayana Kavacha that was protecting Indra? It was a kavacha, an armor that he wore consisting of names of Lord Narayana. And there were 3 mantras that he chanted, the 6-syllable, the 8-syllable, and the 12-syllable mantra. Om Vishnave Namaha, the 6-syllable mantra. And then the 8-syllable mantra, Om Namo Narayana. So Narayana Kavacha, shield. This mantra is also there. Om Namo Narayana, 8-syllable. And he also chanted the 12-syllable verse, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So he chanted these names of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, and touched different parts of the body. And so with this mantra, he protected. It was basically a shield of mantras which protected Indra. So they were saying, do not worry, you will be protected. Not just physically, your body will be protected, but you will not also incur any sins. And then Prabhupada writes, even by a glimpse of chanting of Narayana's name, one can become free from the sinful reactions of killing a woman, a cow, or a Brahmana. See, so Brahma Hatya is a great Hatya. But by a glimpse of chanting Narayana's name, one becomes free from all the sinful reactions, including the sinful reactions of killing a Brahmana. Of course, this doesn't mean that I purposefully go kill a Brahmana and chant the name. No. 7th offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name. So this is to be but in this situation, the demigods had told Indra that do not worry. So now we must understand what is a glimpse of the holy name. A glimpse of the holy name is no ordinary thing. Glimpse means, but then this is the power of the holy name. Both we have to understand the power of the holy name and what is the meaning of glimpse of the holy name. So, the power of the holy name is such that even the greatest sin of killing a Brahmana can be counteracted by chanting the holy name, keeping in mind the 7th offense. That is the power. But that power is when you reach the state of a glimpse. Glimpse means you're on the nama bhasa state, not in the nam aparad state. In the nam aparad state, heavy reactions will come. Nam aparad, 3 stages of chanting. Nam aparad, nam abhas, shuddha nam. And nam abhas, this glimpse word Prabhupada is writing here, it is actually a exact translation of nam abhas. Abhas. Abhas means glimpse has come in. That means, so nama abhas means the stage where your offenses have reduced and almost reducing, almost becoming nil, but the offenses have still not become nil. Still aparada, still offenses are there in the heart. So just see, even at that stage where the offenses have not been completely nullified, the power of one glimpse of the holy name is, it can save you from the sin of killing a Brahmana. We know the story of that when Haridas Thakur went to meet Raghunath Das's father, Govardhan and Hiranya, not Haridas, Haridas Thakur went to meet them in an assembly. There was some discussion about the holy name happening. And so many devotees were there. Haridas was there, Hiranya and Govardhan Majumdar were there. And there was one tax collector also, that Gopal Chakravarti. He was there, and in that assembly they were discussing about the glories of the holy name. So Haridas was requested to talk about the glories of the holy name because he was an authority. And then when he was chanting, this is the statement that Haridas said, that Nama bhasei mukti hoy. And mukti will only happen, liberation will happen only when you're freed from all the sinful reactions. So all the sinful reactions of killing a brahmana, killing a woman, killing a cow, all these things are negated. Nama bhasei means simply by chanting the holy name on the platform of Nama bhas. In some places, Prabhupada also translates Nama bhas means offenseless chanting, but you are chanting offenselessly, but the aparadha still lingers. There is still some, it is not pure chanting. That's why it's a glimpse. But that is the power. That is the power of a glimpse of the holy name. And then the example that he gives is, just like Shuddha Naam is the holy name rising within your heart, and it has come out. But the Nama Bhas is, so the example is compared with a sun. So there are three stages. There is complete darkness, which is Naam Aparadh. You cannot see anything because you're so filled with offenses. The second stage is Nama Bhas, which is dawn. Dawn means the sun has still not risen. About 30 to 40 minutes before sunrise is the dawn state, where there's full light and you can see everything. But during that time, generally people don't get to start working and everything, but it's full light. Everything can be seen. So that is the Nama Bhas. And then Shuddha Naam, or the rising of the sun, where it's completely bright light, and then devotees engage in activities. People engage in activities. So just imagine the power of one holy name which is not even reached the state of pure chanting. It has not even reached the state of pure chanting. That is the power that it can free one from the killing of a brahmana. And then further, Prabhupada writes, the demigods advised Indra to perform an Ashwamedha sacrifice by which Narayana would be pleased. For the performer of such a sacrifice is not implicated in the sinful reactions, even if he kills the entire universe. Now just see, one glimpse of the holy name, you can be freed from the sin of killing a brahmana. Now, the next advice is, perform an Ashwamedha sacrifice by which Narayana would be pleased. For the performer of such a sacrifice is not implicated in the sinful reactions, even if he kills the entire universe. Just imagine the power of one Ashwamedha Yagna. We are studying in the Bhagavatam, in the other series of Bhagavatam that's going on, the power of an Ashwamedha Yagna, where Maharaj Prithu has performed 99 yagnas, and now he's supposed to perform the 100th Ashwamedha Yagna. And Indra gets worried, again connected to Indra. He gets worried. And then, because Indra understands that if Prithu Maharaj performs the 100th one, till now only Indra has performed 100 Ashwamedha Yagnas. And that's how he's qualified to sit in that position of the king of the heaven, Indra Loka. He is the reigning lord of the king of the heaven. And he's fearing that if Prithu Maharaj performs 100, he will equal me and he will displace me. He will occupy my position. So what Indra does, he descends on this planet and dressed as, he disguises himself as a brahmana, and then for the Ashwamedha Yagna, a horse is required for sacrifice. So he steals away the horse of Prithu Maharaj and tries to run away, because without a horse, the Ashwamedha Yagna will not happen. So just see how Indra is thinking. Prithu Maharaj should not. He is trying all ways and means to see to it that Prithu Maharaj doesn't perform the 100th Ashwamedha Yagna, otherwise he'll displace him. And then so many things go on in the story. He first disguises himself as a Brahmana, and then the son of Prithu, then, the rishis and the sages there, they understand that he's not a real Brahmana, he's a disguised person, and then the son of Prithu Maharaj follows him and chases him, and then he releases the horse. Then again, he's not giving it up. After losing once, then he creates a lot of black smoke and, like that, so that, and again, he takes away the horse. So he's so fearful, so worried for the 100th Ashwamedha, for one Ashwamedha Yagna. And here it is written that it can save us from the killing of the entire universe. This is the power of one Ashwamedha Yagna. Now, let's compare. So we compared the glimpse of the holy name, right, with killing of a Brahmana. Now here the next comparison is Ashwamedha Yagna. Let's compare an Ashwamedha Yagna with the holy name. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, a comparison is given. And one Ashwamedha Yagna is not being compared to the holy name. 1 crore Ashwamedha Yagnas is being compared. Indra is worried about Prithu's 100 Ashwamedha Yagna. Now here the comparison is given. Koti Ashwamedha Ek Krishna Nama Sama. If you take 1 crore Ashwamedha Yagnas and compare it with one holy name, one, Koti Ashwamedha Yagna Ek Krishna Nama Sama. What is the comparison given? Yei kahe, one who says this, Shei Pashandi, Dande Tare Yama. Just see. If you are even comparing, it cannot be compared. If you are even comparing 1 crore Ashwamedha Yagnas to one holy name, who's that person comparing? He's a Pashandi. He's an atheist, he's a non-believer, he's a Pashandi, you can call him whatever names you want. You know the meaning of word Pashandi. And Dande Tare Yama, Yamaraj will punish him. So just see what we are doing, how glorious. That's why Prabhupada says the devotee's position is so glorious. Even if he's not able, he's committing some sinful actions, not knowingly, intentionally, unintentionally, is unable to follow some, principles. But a person who's chanting the holy name and struggling and trying to come out of the offenses, he is extremely glorious. We are chanting 25,000 names of Krishna every day. And here it is said that you can't even compare one holy name of the 25,000 to 1 crore Ashwamedha Yagnas. And Indra is worried about that one yagna, which will displace him from the position of king of heaven. Just see the comparison. So how serious we should take up this chanting of the holy name. And that's why the Brahmanas here, the demigods told Vritrasura, do not worry, you are protected by the Narayana Kavacha shield. And so don't worry, nothing will happen. You can kill a Brahmana because the situation is like that. But it is all a glimpse and a pure holy name. Otherwise, we will be implicated in more sinful reactions. 7th offense is to commit sinful actions on the strength of the holy name. And this Ashwamedha Yagna, comparing Ashwamedha Yagna with one holy name, which offense is this? 8th offense. 8th offense is to consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities offered in the Vedas as fruitive activity. So it cannot be compared. But here, now in this verses, it is said that everyone was pleased when Vritrasura was killed and they all went back. But everybody was pleased, everyone was happy except one person, and that was Indra himself. So this is an important point. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the other demigods returned to their respective abodes, but Indra did not, for he was disturbed at having killed Vritrasura, who was actually a Brahmana, because he was a great devotee, so he was automatically a Brahmana. After killing Vritrasura, Indra went to Manasa Sarovara lake to become free from the sinful reactions. When he left the lake, he performed an Ashwamedha yagna and then returned to his own abode. So, Indra is genuinely feeling repentant. Oh, I killed a great devotee. I may have chanted the Narayana Kavacha shield. I may have, protected myself. And that also didn't bring, he was forced to kill because the situations was like that. But still he is feeling repentant. So this is a very important lesson to learn from this verse. And here, Prabhupada also writes, everyone was satisfied but King Indra, who knew Vritrasura's position. This, and then Prabhupada writes, this is the nature of a great personality. Indra was no doubt a great personality. He is sitting, reigning the heavenly kingdom, the king of the heaven. Even if a great personality acquires some opulence, he is always ashamed and regretful if he acquires it illegally. Indra could understand that he was certainly entangled by sinful reaction for killing a Brahmana. Indeed, he could see sinful reactions personified following him, and thus he fled here and there in fear, thinking how to rid himself of these sins. So, this is a very important point that Prabhupada also writes, Krishna is revealed in the heart of a devotee who is repentant. Krishna is revealed in a repentant heart. So as devotees also, just like see Indra, he knows he's protected by Narayana Kavacha shield. He knows he has to kill Vritrasura because that is the situation is like that. And he knows he has the support of all the devatas to kill him also. In fact, Vishnu personally came and gave him the Narayana Kavacha shield. So Vishnu had come, Shiva is there, Brahma is there, they're encouraging him to kill him, kill him, kill him. So all the authorities have approved. But still, Indra is feeling remorseful. He's feeling repentant. He's feeling regretful. He's feeling ashamed. So, when a devotee who is practicing Krishna consciousness must always keep this in mind. Who am I? Am I freed from all the sinful reactions? Reactions are there, my actions are also continuing. And still in this state of a state where I am filled with aparadha, nam aparadha and different kinds of offenses, how can I practice Krishna consciousness? So this feelings of humility is very important in a devotee when he's practicing Krishna consciousness. Never we should feel confident, never we should feel, oh, I'm doing great, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing big services. We must always remember our position, what we were and what we still are. Now that I've become purified. We have here it is said, by the glimpse of the holy name, you can be saved from the sinful reaction of killing a Brahmana. We have not even come on the platform of a glimpse. Glimpse of a holy name looks very nice. Just a glimpse of a holy name. No, glimpse of the holy name is not a small thing. It's a very big thing. It's a nama-bhasa state. So, this, how do we feel regretful, remorseful, ashamed? One way is to reflect on what is going on in my mind, what is there in my heart. Do your devotional service very nicely, chant nicely, do your sevas nicely, be engaged in devotional service, and keep praying to the Lord. The Lord, you're accepting my service in this state of contamination. I know what I am. I know what my mind is. I am my mind. I know what kind of sense gratificatory thought goes on in my mind. I know how fallen I am. Prabhupada says when this kind of a feeling is there, when we are doing a devotional service, Krishna will accept our service. Just like once Prabhupada, he started crying actually. Prabhupada, he says, don't think that you have made a big offering, a nice offering, and then Krishna will accept it. There's no must for Krishna that he has to accept your offering. When you're offering something to Krishna, how you should offer. You should not think, oh, I've made a nice paneer sabji, I've made a nice cake, now Krishna is for Krishna and feeling great. No, not like that. Yes, you should make a nice offering, definitely, for Krishna to enjoy. But while you're offering to Krishna, in doing any seva to Krishna, the feeling should be, Krishna, I'm so impure, I'm so unqualified, I'm so filled with aparadha. So, what is my qualification to even offer something to you? But I have made this, please accept it. Please accept it. I have no qualification to offer this to you, but please accept it. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati tadham bhakti uparitam ashnami prayatatmanaha. In Bhagavad Gita also it says, Krishna eats when there is bhakti, when there is love, when there is devotion. So this love and devotion will not come unless and until we actually understand what our position is. And so how do we feel regretful, remorseful, ashamed? One way is, yes, you pray like that. And there's another very nice way. How you feel genuinely, these kind of feelings are important, that, oh my God, I have no qualification. So that other way is the songs written by Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur. All the songs, many songs, they are in different categories. So there's one category of songs where so beautifully comes out Bhaktivedanta Thakur and all those acharyas, Narottam Das Thakur and other devotees, they have taken on the position of a conditioned soul, what we are. See how merciful they are? They have taken on the position of a conditioned soul and they have composed wonderful bhajans, expressing their remorse, expressing their situation, their helpless situation. And these prayers, these Vaishnava, we sing the Vaishnava songs, actually we should chant them, sing them every day. And if you sing one Vaishnava song every day, you will see so quickly you will progress in Krishna consciousness and there'll be genuine feelings of, of devotion. So there's one such song, I'll just read a few verses where there are so many songs. How he is feeling, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, taking on the position of a conditioned soul, is feeling remorseful, ashamed. This is Nivedana Kori Prabhu Tomara Charane. This is my Nivedan, this is my prayer at your lotus feet. Nivedana Kori Prabhu Tomara Charane. This is my prayer. What is the prayer? Patita Adhama Ami Jane Tribhuvane. See how Indra is feeling remorse and ashamed. And that's why it is written here. Even, nobody spoke to him. They just left because they knew that a Brahmana, the demigods knew that a Brahmana has been killed and Indra is feeling remorseful, and so they just left. So, Patita Adhama Ami Jane Tribhuvane. This is my state, and this is how we should all feel. I am Patita, I am lowly, and Adhama, I am wretched, the most fallen, and Jane Tribhuvane. All the three worlds, entire universe knows my position. Do we think like that? I think I'm a great devotee. But these feelings, that's why these songs are so very important for our cultivation of our devotion. The next, Ama sama papi nahi jagat bhitare, Ama sama aparadhi nahi go samsare. So beautiful it is. Ama sama papi nahi jagat bhitare. In this jagat, in this world, there is no one more sinful than me. And mama sama aparadhi nahi ko samsare. There is no greater offender than me. Nahi ko samsare, in this entire world. We sing every day morning also in the Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Doya Koro More, Toma Bina Ke Dayalu Jagat Samsare, Patita Adham. I know that. Patita Pavana. So we know that song. We all sing every day. Mosama Patita Prabhu Na Pai Beyar. So the very important thing when we are singing these songs, we should be absorbed in them. If you're not absorbed in the song, in these wordings of the song, and if you're not meditating on what these songs are saying, and you're not absorbing it, then it will not have much effect. In fact, it will have sometime, once one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, about repeating some songs, about singing some songs. And Prabhupada says you should understand the meaning of the songs. Simply repeating the songs parrot-like will have no meaning. Of course, it has some effect because chanting of Hare Krishna has some effect, but the real effect will not be there. Some effect will be there, but the real effect will not be there. And then the third verse it says, Sei saba papa ar aparadha ami. I have collected so much of papa and aparadha, sinful reactions and offenses towards others. I am such a big offender. Parihare pai lajja sab jano tumi. Means in trying, I feel ashamed even to clear them. Because such are the volumes of my sinful reactions. We must remember, we don't have a stockpile of sinful reactions of this life alone. We have a stockpile of sinful reactions of all the previous lives. So that is why Nam Aparadha stage to cross over takes some time. And Prabhupada says, until one has crossed over the Nama Aparadha stage, one has to struggle with great determination. He has to put in endeavor, and you have to struggle with great determination. One has to endeavor, he uses exact word, one has to endeavor with great determination. If you're not so serious, endeavoring with great determination, there's a little struggle required to hear. Because when you're trying to hear, the mind is running away. And the mind will not allow you to hear. The mind will go to different kinds of thought. So that struggle hard with great determination. This is another phrase that he uses. Struggle hard with great determination. Because you have to hear and the mind is not allowing you. But that is the only way. There's no other way. And then you come to the stage of glimpse the holy name. But that is the power of the glimpse of the holy name. And then it says, Tumi vina karami loibo sharana, Tumi sarveshwarva brajendra nandana. So who else can we take refuge in except you? So I am taking refuge in you and please protect me. Jagara tomara natha tumi sarvamoy, toma prati aparadha tumi karo shoy. And our greatest aparadha is I want to lord over and I want to, we have committed so much offenses against the Lord, against his devotees. So here he is saying, Jagata tomara nath tumi sarvamoy. This world is yours, you are everything. Toma prati aparadha tumi karo khoy. And the aparadha which I have committed towards you, you please help me in overcoming them. Please help me in nullifying them. So how will Krishna help me in nullifying the offenses which I have committed towards him? How is he going to help me? He's helping me by giving me this sweet holy names. Simply by chanting these holy names, we can be freed from all these offenses. So like this, it goes on. Tumi to skhalita pada janera ashroy, Tumi vina ke ache ar keba ache dayamoy. You are the sanctuary of those who have faltered, who have committed offenses. O benevolent one, who is there but you? And all such offenders to you shall come and surrender to you. So our surrendering to Krishna is actually what Mahaprabhu has given us, this chanting of the holy name. And this is the prayer. Thus Bhaktivinoda, surrendering at your feet, now offers this very self. So here the verse is beginning, and Indra, we see he is feeling very repentant, very remorseful. And this is a very good qualification that we see in him. And here Prabhupada is also writing, this is the nature of a great personality. And he feels ashamed and regretful. So in the same way, we should also feel like this. And this is the mood in which we should be chanting the holy names. Amanina manadena. We should always be, not desiring any respect for ourselves and giving all respect to others. Otherwise, we will not be able to chant properly. So this is one of the important points that comes out in this verse, and then later we will see what Indra does and then what happens. So we'll close here. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.